live on April 4th, 2023. It is officially Q2. And after a kick-ass Q1 of growth in the Leofinance ecosystem, we're going to keep the ball rolling and talk about all the things, the wonderful things coming to market, and the things in the works that will be announced at later dates that are pretty badass.
WenSoons.
WenSoons. That is why it is the Leofinance AMA parentheses WenSoon show.
I'm muting in the Discord.
Yeah, I should do that too.
Let's see here. Live
and direct.
Just posting all the links. Let everybody fill up in here. Nifty just joined. I saw Nifty's April Fool's post, and I have to admit that he got me for a second. He said it was time to say GN on GM.
I did not see.
It was a good read. I recommend it.
I missed it. Where was I? Oh, this weekend was a complete crap show for me. So I was not on Leofinance much. Actually, I wasn't really on it at all.
Wow.
Saturday.
That hurts.
Actually, that's a lie because I posted on Saturday. Did I post Saturday? Yeah, I posted Saturday. I was
I've
away
seen
from
you.
my
You've been
desk.
posting. You've been posting more lately, I feel like.
I mean, I was just trying to get back into the groove somewhat because I'd fallen off from the daily posting. But no,
Yeah.
I'll post like 3 or 4 days in a row, and then I'll have like a 2 or 3 day gap. It's tough to post every day along with all the other things I do.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I feel like I live in 3 different universes between crypto and real estate and stocks. But
I know the feeling. I try to wake up and write a post at least once a day.
nice.
At least Monday through Friday minimum.
Yeah.
Trying to get to it on the weekends too, but I try to unwind a little bit these weekends, especially with how much we've been going after the new UI during the week.
Oh yeah. I just jumped onto the YouTube page in case anyone asks questions there. Man, I look so angry when I'm in thinking mode. It's hilarious. Angry cat.
Angry cat.
I wonder why people think I'm angry all the time. Look angry when I'm thinking.
People have told me that I look unapproachable in public. So
I feel like I might suffer from that as well because I've learned to smile way more. I still am not a fan of smiling. I'm not a smiler, but when I was younger, I barely ever smiled, and apparently I have like the male version of resting bitch face when I'm not smiling. So, and you're tall also, so tall and looking angry probably equals unapproachable.
Yeah. I guess I'm a big person too, people say, so it makes me look mean. And
yeah, you got some size on you. Like me, I'm taller than you, but you know, I'm built like a basketball player. I'm thin.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Well, luckily they don't need to approach you in real life. They can approach you on Leofinance.
Yep. Catch me in the Leoverse. It's the only verse that matters.
Catch me in the LV. We're gonna start remixing hip hop songs. All righty. So we're rolling a little earlier than usual, which audience-wise, I know usually is on the weaker side. I was almost going to pitch doing like a late afternoon one when I'm back if you're around, but
it's all good.
Just get it out, get the info out. People pile in as we get going. So I know we have some pre-mined topics, so to speak, but we can touch on those. I guess a lot of those within what is the latest weekly updates in regards to Leofinance?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
I see a lot of good things on the menu.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. So I posted a announcement yesterday talking about, so every Monday we have a little dev meeting, and I announced last week that we were doing, actually the week before last week, that I moved all of us, the whole team, onto a production, like basically a dev release schedule where every Friday we're going to release something, right? So we're always working on like multiple stream, like there's multiple devs working on multiple different things at the same time. So the cool part about that, and it's the double-edged sword, is that, you know, you get new features pretty regularly that just kind of drop randomly, right? Because like one dev will finish something, another dev's like halfway through something, and kind of creates this nice little parallel of features getting released. But one thing that I've seen a lot of feedback from the community about is just looking for more like consistency and predictability in terms of like development and releases. So what we've done now is basically the way that we work is exactly the same, but the difference is now we package each release into like a Friday scheduled release. So like if a feature is done on Monday, we'll just hold on to it until Friday. And if, you know, if a feature is done on Saturday, it'll obviously take longer to get out till the next Friday. But it adds a lot of predictability. It adds like some fun and engagement that you get like a new feature as we go into the weekend every week. So I feel like it's fun and it's nice and predictable, and that's what people are looking for. So last Friday we released the drafts update, which is basically a huge update to the back end, but on the front end, you know, one of the results of that back end update is drafts in the publish UI. So now when you're writing a post on Leofinance Alpha, you can hit there's a button at the top right that says enable drafting. And if you click that and then you start typing, you need a title, and then you start typing a body, that button will light up green if the drafting is enabled. And it'll basically tell you like you're not going to lose your post. You know, that's like a huge thing for me, and I think for a lot of different people, is you don't want to lose your post while you're writing it. And that big green button is just like a nice indicator that things are going smoothly. And then obviously you have the whole view drafts module, which will let you pull from what you've been writing. So that was what we released on Friday. And like I said, it was like a really big back end update, but on the front end, that was like what the users get to see is that new drafting module. So I used to write a lot of my content from leofinance.io, even though pushing UI, and my mic just switched off. There we go. And I finally switched over to the Alpha UI. So now that we've got drafts, I'm very comfortable writing my content in the Alpha UI. I did put a disclaimer in that announcement post just saying, you know, this is still an alpha product. So I trust the drafts feature, but I would recommend still holding maybe like a copy of whatever you're writing, and just, you know, copy paste that copy like every, you know, couple paragraphs or something, if you're worried about losing what you've got, until we move to production. So anything in the alpha UI can break at any time. That's why it's an alpha. So that's what we released last Friday. And then this coming Friday, I put out an announcement that we are working on two main things. One is login options. So that is for sure going to be released on Friday. So hivesginer, hiveauth, and then native posting key login. So kind of like similar login options that you see on other Hive UIs like PeakD. We're finally adding all those, because up until this point, the alpha UI has only had Hive keychain. So that's all getting added this week. So you'll get all those options on Friday. I know a lot of people are waiting for that, especially for using the UI on mobile. So that'll definitely help you. And then I said tentatively, because so actually this is a whole other announcement that I haven't put out yet, but we just onboarded a new dev. So the team has expanded once again. And I've loved to talk about that during this bear market where a lot of other crypto projects have actually been consolidating and laying off their workforce. Leofinance has actually been adding people. So, our team is bigger than it's ever been. And a big reason for that is, during the bull market, I was very confident in preparing a very long runway for Leo, because I've been through enough cycles at this point to know that the biggest fundamental developments always happen in the bear market. Devs are hungry. Everyone's hungry for releases, and people are hungry for work. And, just there's a general, there's like a laziness that comes with a bull market because everyone's getting rich and nobody wants to do anything. But in the bear market, people are hustling. So I prepared for that. And that's why, I work hard on finding new devs and onboarding them to the team. So that is pretty much my full-time job now, is just onboarding devs and working with them to provide Leoverse updates. So we onboarded a new dev, and he's working on, his first task is to work on the wallet UI for the new alpha UI. So we are saying tentatively that we might have it by Friday, but if we don't, it'll be next Friday. So the login options are for sure coming by this Friday, and then the wallet will either be this Friday or next Friday, but for sure by next Friday at the latest. So
login options was what, using things other than keychain?
Yeah. So right now you can only log in with keychain, but the update this Friday will let you log in with hivesginer, hivauth, and then using just your posting key directly on the browser for your Hive account. So it'll give some pretty much all the options that currently exist on Hive. And then we're working on the Leo Infra update, which will let, the Facebook accounts and stuff log in, those Hive Lite accounts that we built. We're working on a new version of Leo Infra, which will integrate that into the new UI. So I don't have a timeline on that yet, but that will be out before production is released. And on that note, we have set an official date for the production release of Leofinance. So if you're reading the title of this live stream, it says big announcement. And that announcement is that we are releasing we're releasing the alpha UI into production on May 1st. So that is almost exactly a month from now, a little bit less. And also just in time for the conference that we're going to be going to on May 3rd, I think. So new UI drop into production on May 1st. There's a couple big ticket items that need to be released to the UI. So that's what's holding us up from production right now, is those items that we need to cross off the list. So it was, polls, filtering, and stuff like that, which we've already crossed off, obviously. The next things are like wallet UI, settings page, ads, drafts we just released, scheduling your posts, and then making a few more updates to the mobile view to make it better. Like right now, some people said that they can't hit the dark mode option on mobile. So just working on some more mobile compatibility things. So that's all the stuff we're going to have by May 1st. So by May 1st, we'll have those things out. And then that is my minimum viable product to move us from alpha to production. So that's where we'll be at.
Cool.
And then,
can you hear me, Cal, or no?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your camera's frozen.
Okay. I just wanted to see if the audio is still working. Obviously, I'm assuming I'm fine on Discord, but I will keep rolling until it either gets worse or comes back.
Sweet. Yeah, you've been frozen for 45 seconds. Or so.
Yeah, it shows Zoom not responding. So that's why I was curious if the audio was working, but if the audio keeps working, then we're good to go.
Sweet. Yeah, you might be able to drop out and then jump back into the Zoom too, if it gets worse.
Yeah, if it won't let me do anything, because I was going to try and stop video. It's just the blue death circle.
Uh-oh. Circle of death. Definitely what you don't want to see.
Yeah, it's just Zoom though. Everything else is functional, so that's good. All right, cool. So per the usual, we got a ton of awesome updates happening and incoming in the near future. Um, I think the new schedule has been well received, so to speak, in terms of kind of standard updates after the, Friday rollouts. And then, so we, as far as updates and things on the docket, do we have everything covered in that space?
Yeah, I think that covers us on the Leo UI front.
Cool.
And
All right.
That leads us nicely into well, it's funny because I'm reading through the threadcast right now too, and Taskmaster posted what is the goal for production release, and I kind of answered it while he was typing it. So yeah, so the goal May 1st, and I outlined all the stuff that all the features that I think need to be there to be considered ready for production. So that's what's holding us up from production, is just those features that I hit on. And the wallet UI will be out before the next LPUD. So I'm sure we'll have cool, we'll have some cool growth initiatives to use the new UI to power up your Leo on the 15th.
Well, we got 3.5 weeks or so until May 1st. So I'm sure the devs are going to be busy.
Very busy.
Speaking of busy, Threads apparently is busier as monthly active users continues to grow.
Yeah,
I believe we hit a first milestone.
We did. Yeah, great segue. Yeah, so our Q1 goal, so we started the year with 500 monthly active users, right? And then our Q1 goal, we set out these goals for each quarter. So Q1, we wanted to hit 1,000 monthly active users. So that would be a 2x on the user base. Q2, we want to hit 1,500. Q3, I'm going to forget my own goals here. A Nomad Soul will remind me. Q3, what are we aiming to hit? 3K. And then Q4 is 5K. So I think Mitch just dropped out, but I'm sure he'll be back. So Q1, 1,000, Q2, 1,500, Q3, 3,000, Q4, 5,000. So by the end of the year, our goal has been to hit that 5,000 monthly active user target. And between the new UI going live and then a Nomad Soul doing all these like really crazy and awesome growth initiatives, we hit the 1,000 monthly active user number, and we hit it a month early. So we hit it in February, and then we ended March with pretty much the same exact amount of monthly active users, which I posted a tweet earlier today talking about how I was actually very happy that I think we had one more monthly active user, so we still had growth. But I was actually really happy that we just maintained the growth that we saw in February, because typically when things go up in that way so quickly, you see a mean reversion. So like, we went from 500 monthly active users to 1,000, which also coincided with the new UI going live. And typically when you release something new, a lot of people come in from, who don't normally use the app. They come in to give things a try, just to see how it is. And, then they leave because they try it, and like, maybe half of them will stay, but the other half will leave and say, oh, I'll come back at some point. So I was excited that we actually maintained that growth. It means that, a lot of new people came and they stayed. So I think it's actually pretty amazing that we saw that growth hold. So we've got now another few months to go from 1,000 monthly active users to 1,500. I actually think that's going to be really easy to achieve, relatively, not trying to take away from the hard work that Nomad Soul is going to have to put in. But I think, like, just judging by how well he did on hitting our 500 to 1,000 target, I think that the 1,000 to 1,500 leap is not going to be a stretch for him to achieve, probably in the next 1 or 2 months pretty easily. Going from alpha to production, I think we'll also have a huge bump in users. So I'm excited to see that. And obviously there's kind of like this need, and I was talking to the devs about this, but there's this need to kind of use both UIs. So you got to use like alpha and the regular Leofinance UI for a few different reasons. There's a lot of features that aren't on alpha yet, like the wallet. So we're working on all that stuff. Like I said, by May 1st, that's our target. That's our hard launch date. We've had to move the goalpost on that a few times, but in a recent dev meeting, I said we just have to set this hard date and hit it. So even if we are missing a few features, we're still going to push it to production and just grind away. But I'm pretty confident that that list I just gave you guys a little bit ago is going to be all ready by May 1st. Taskmaster asked, which is related on Threads. He asked, will the new wallet also have Hive integrated or just Leo? It'll have Hive, Leo, not at the start, but eventually it'll also have Hive Engine tokens, other ones. It'll have HBD savings. And then again, later on, we'll have things like, BHBD and other integrations into that wallet. So the goal with the Everything app is to make everything integrated. So, everything. So what else we got on that? Just reading through the thread questions on that. So I think that covers us on the wallet UI. And then the monthly active users targets. So 1,500 MAUs, that's our goal these next 2 months. So, do what you can, share some threads, share us on Twitter. And related to that, I actually missed this on, I'm just reading through Eric's notes, but I missed this on the talk about the last Friday update. So last Friday we released the drafts. We also released all of the new thread prompts that were created through the Crew 3 initiative. That's a tongue twister. So in that Crew 3 initiative, they basically a bunch of you guys came up with all these really cool ideas for the thread prompts that are there before you start typing. So if you've been using threads, you've probably already noticed that there's a bunch of new prompts there, and some of them are really funny and informative even. So a thread a day keeps the bears away. That's probably one of my favorite ones.
That is
what else we got? So that's our Q2 goals. 1,500 MAUs.
Was 5K the yearly goal?
Yeah, 5K is the year-end goal. So by December of this year, we want to hit 5,000 monthly active users, which, am I still here? Okay. Yeah. 5,000 monthly active users is a 10x on our current user, or it was a 10x on our current user base when we started the year. But judging by us doubling our monthly active users in the first month of this year, I'm pretty confident that we're going to hit that 5,000 goal, which is pretty insane if you consider how big crypto projects are in general. Even having 1,000 monthly active users kind of puts us in an upper echelon of actual active people using a crypto project. And Hive itself, I haven't seen the data recently, but it's somewhere around 10 to 15,000 monthly active users that are on Hive, like the whole of Hive, in terms of blogging. So I believe it's something around there. So, us hitting 5,000 monthly active users is pretty insane. That's like half of what's on Hive right now in terms of blogging and content. So I'm very excited about that. I think it's going to have a huge impact on a lot of different things, including something that, a lot of you give feedback on that you're excited about, which is the ad revenue. Which I also missed before we go into production, we need to add the ad protocol. I don't know if I mentioned that in that list, but that's coming probably not this Friday, but maybe next Friday for the ad protocol. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I saw before I got disconnected, I saw on the YouTube Beehiver was asking something about ads. I don't know if you saw that or if you just happened to touch on it.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but the ad protocol I've talked about it in the past, but the ad protocol is totally revamped in the new UI. So if you've ever seen ads on Twitter, I'll just do this briefly because I've already talked about it. But if you see ads in Twitter, they look like a native tweet. Like you almost can't tell the difference between them and a regular tweet. The thing that tells you the difference is that they have like a little promoted icon at the bottom. That's exactly what we're doing with Threads. So the ads are actually going to be like natively in your feed, and they're going to look like other threads, but then they'll say promoted somewhere that you can clearly see, which I think will have a huge impact on the actual views of ads. It'll also have a huge impact on people clicking the ads. And then we're combining both of those with with actually a whole new protocol for people to submit ads. So it's a whole decentralized way of like, you can actually create an ad from the Leofinance UI. So like, let's say that you're another crypto project. I'll just use Splinterlands as an example. Let's say that the new Splinterlands edition is coming out and you want to post an ad on Leofinance and you want to link to the new edition and, you know, buying it and all that. You'll be able to go to a section of the UI and you'll be able to, like, if you've ever used Facebook ads and you know exactly how this works, or Twitter ads, there's like an ad section. You go in there, you can like upload an ad image, upload ad text, and then you can like see a preview of what the ad will look like. You can set a daily budget for the ad, and then you know, you hook up all the payment options and everything, and then you set it up like that. And this is going to be really cool because when you do that, you're actually going to be sending, like, for example, if you pay for the ad in like HBD, right? And you want to set a budget of 1,000 HBD over the course of, you know, 30 days. You'll set up your ad, you'll see the preview of what it's going to look like, and then you will send that, like, there'll be a button that you click, and then it'll pre-fill all the things you need, but it'll send 1,000 HBD to the Leofinance smart contract for ads. And then that 1,000 HBD is held in the ads contract. And you know, if you cancel your, like, let's say you're halfway through the campaign and you cancel it, the smart contract will return 500 HBD to you, but you'll have spent the other 500. And then the Leo ads contract will actually use the pooled money in there, like the HBD or the Bitcoin or whatever you use, to buy Leo. And that's all through the ads protocol. So we've got a lot of announcements related to ads, but the whole, like, right now we have like basically a dumb ads protocol, right? Like it's connected with Coinzilla, and basically it's just like dumb ads that you kind of see on the, you know, on like more like old school websites. It's kind of a similar setup on the current leofinance.io, where there's just like little banners everywhere, and you know, it's connected to a single ad partner. This new ads protocol, I think, is going to really drive revenue up in multiples. And then when you combine that, the fact that the ads are just more efficient, they're better, and then we're also doing direct to consumer ads, like B2B, basically. Combine all of that with the whole idea that the monthly active users are increasing by a lot. That just tells me that like the whole ad protocol is going to start driving a lot of revenue into Leo. So we started the year with 500 monthly active users. We've already doubled that. And then by the end of the year, we'll have 10x the original monthly active users, and combine that with, you know, a more efficient and effective ad protocol, also with direct sales. And I think the ad revenue is going to be, you know, far more than 10x what it was when we started the year. So I'm excited to see that get rolled out. So that's another big goal for us, is just making that better ad protocol. And then what we got next? So a Nomad Soldier sent this to us, Discord to Threads. So I'll share the link. So he's been working on like a little side project, which is really cool, which basically takes messages on Discord and automatically pushes them onto Threads. It's actually really cool. So like, it's basically taking like Web 2 engagement and then pushing it to Threads. So I'm not sure what his target release date is yet, but I'm really curious to see how that goes. And, you know, for example, like, let's say there's a lot of chatter going on in the Leofinance Discord, and then this bot starts picking up all that chatter and then pushing it all onto Threads. So now everything you're saying in Discord is being pushed on chain.
That's a little scary. I was just gonna ask, like, with that, because it's a cool feature to have, but I thought like maybe and I don't know if it's even possible, but it's like, anytime you want something, a post you're putting in Discord, to hit threads, like there'd be some kind of command or something. But yeah, if it's basically like a feed, that's going to be interesting because, we've seen some of the chatter in Discord, and I don't know if all of it needs to be on Leo threads.
Yeah. So a nomad, so he just said you got to call it. So you got to /thread.
Gotcha. Okay,
Makes
cool.
sense.
Which I think is
So
good.
you'll have a discussion, then you'll hit, /thread, and then the bot will pick it up and then post it.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I mean, that's a way
Yeah,
to really up the amount of activity on threads. I mean, because hell, I mean, there's times I'm in general chat and there's things that are thread worthy that I'll comment.
definitely.
So,
So keep an eye out for that. That account, I just posted the thread. I just posted a thread linking to that account. And so keep an eye out for that. When it goes live, you'll see all the threads posted there. And related to that, I pinged a Nomad Soul, and then we spitballed this idea, and then he made my idea like 100 times better. But we just dropped this this bot basically, where so this is how the idea started. Every day when I wake up,
we are sharing this.
We are going to share it. Yeah. So every day when I wake up, I look for crypto news, right? Like I'm looking for articles about crypto. I'm trying to, keep up with what's happening in the industry. And I do that through, just like Googling, crypto news, or I have Google alerts set up that like email me every morning with some of the top trending crypto articles, or, going to CoinDesk, or the big one for me is like going to Twitter and seeing what crypto Twitter is sharing. So I pinged a Nomad Soul and said, it would be awesome if we had a way to basically have a bot that would like pull the top crypto news articles and then post links to them on threads, and just autonomously kind of create this news feed of what's going on in the crypto industry. And obviously that can also be expanded out into things like stocks. Like you could have like a Tesla news bot, for example. But we just wanted to start with like crypto. So then he took my idea and he made it, a lot better by saying, what if we took that idea, and there's this really cool feature of ChatGPT where you can take an article and you can ask ChatGPT to turn it into a thread, like a Twitter thread, right? So it creates like, say, 3 to 5 tweets that synthesize like the top, 3 to 5 points that were made in that article. And basically it allows you to like avoid even reading the article if you want, or just to see if you're, interested in reading the full article, because, you get like the quick Cliff Notes version, and then it lets you click the link and see, the full article. So we spitballed this idea, I think yesterday morning. And then last night he was like, and I was like, we should do this ASAP. He's like, ASAP requested, ASAP delivered. And he had it all done by last night. And I was so surprised. It was crazy. Yeah, very badass. So it's live now. I'm sure some of you have already seen it. I saw Taskmaster commented on one of its threads, but it's called Crypto Insights. So you may see it posting throughout threads. And essentially what it's doing is, like I pulled up the latest one, and it was talking about Euler Labs. And essentially what it's doing is it's taking news articles about crypto, feeding it to ChatGPT and saying, create a quick synopsis of this. And then it's taking that synopsis into like 3 to 5 threads, posting it on threads, and then it posts the link back to the original article, so that you can see if the article, like you can see like the core points of the article. And if you're interested, you can then click the link and go see the whole article. And I think this is going to be like an absolute killer feature for threads, which is like, instead of me going to, my email and then going to Google and then going to CoinDesk and then going to Twitter, pulling all this shit up just to look for like good crypto news and content, I'll just go to threads, and then, every hour, just randomly, there's just going to be like crypto insights posted, something like this, where it says Euler Labs, a decentralized finance protocol, announced a hacker who exploited the contract. And it'll post, 3 threads that synthesize whatever's in that article, and then the link. So I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. Let me click this link and then read the whole thing. And now all my crypto news is synthesized into one place. And I'm really excited about that. I think it's like, I saw it last night and I was just looking at it and I was just mind blown by what this could achieve for Threads. So if you imagine that we've got crypto insights, we've got Tesla insights, we've got, you know, Apple insights, and like all these different news feeds are basically feeding into Threads. And then instead of, you know, having to go all over the internet looking for, you know, top news, you're on Threads, and, you know, you just see these accounts that are just keeping you updated. It's kind of like a Web3 RSS feed, if you think about it, mixed with AI. So it's like, it's so cool. Like, I was looking at it last night and I was just like, this is crazy. Like, Threads is now essentially connected to AI. So you could basically call Leo an AI coin at this point.
I like it.
Just kidding. But I think it's really cool. I'm always fascinated by automation and stuff like that. So I think it's super cool.
That is,
yeah. Taskmaster also said it'd be a great idea to pull the feeds for sports. Yeah, I mean, like, literally we could just fork this bot now and create feeds for everything under the sun. So
you think, you know, the Tesla one would have satisfied all of Taskmaster's needs.
And someone asked also, should you vote on Crypto Insights, or is that just an info site? Where would the Leo go? Would it get burned? Yeah, we haven't really talked about this yet, but that's what I'm thinking. And I'll talk to a Nomad Soul about what we're thinking about doing. But I'm thinking we should either one of two options. Maybe we'll put up a poll and ask the people what they want.
Good idea. That's what polls are for.
That's what they're for. We can either burn the Leo that account earns, or we can take the Leo and send it to the Leo tasks, or like the Leo initiatives account, which basically like pays Leo out to people who do certain tasks for the community. So it could either be a burn mechanism, or it could be basically a contributor to the fund that basically has like decentralized initiatives to grow Leofinance. So that Leo, what you can be assured of is that the Leo isn't just going somewhere that, you know, it's not just free Leo for a bot. It'll be used either to get burned or something like that.
I think that's a win-win, because we get a news bot, which keeps people on site, and we don't have to venture elsewhere to get crypto news, or, you know, whatever other news the bot's going to produce. And we're either burning Leo, or, you know, we're creating funds to compensate people for doing things that are, you know, pro Leo growth. So sounds like a win-win.
100%. Yeah, I'm really excited about stuff like that. And, you know, two big things on that. One, the whole idea here is like increase engagement, increase time on site, increase, you know, clicks and click-through rate, and all of this stuff contributes to the Leo ad revenue, which is the sustainability of the Leo token. So what I'm excited about in terms of that is, like, you know, adding all these different news feeds. If people say bookmark, like, or you know, that shortcuts feature that I've talked about a few times is also coming. Let's say that you bookmark or shortcut menu, you know, the sports news feed or the crypto news feed. And now you're just, instead of every day going to all these different sites I've talked about, like CoinDesk and Twitter and Google, and looking for all these news articles, you just go to that shortcut, and it's got just a feed of all the things that you want. Like, you can go to the Crypto Insights account, the profile page for it. I'll drop the link for that. You go to the profile page for it, and then now suddenly you're just looking at a crypto news feed, and it's synthesizing everything for you. You don't even have to read articles if you don't have time or don't want to. Or maybe you can read, you know, the Cliff Notes version and then bookmark the article link for later. All of that is just contributing to more and more time on site and engagement. So super cool, super like low hanging fruit that I think is just really awesome. And that came, like I said, it came together in literally like 24 hours. So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Leofinance has all the news.
All of the news. So I'm dropping the link in the threadcast to that account if you guys want to go see it.
Has the news.
So what else we got? He said he added more to this channel. Okay, so we have okay, I didn't know this. All right, this is news to me, and I will share it here. All of the alphas. So we already have finance insights, business insights, world insights, and more, according to Nomad Soul. So all this stuff is being set up and deployed right now. Users will be able to feed the bot links on Discord, tag #finance or #business in the message, and it will queue them throughout the day to X account. So just one of the accounts. And credit to, oh, I didn't know this, but so he's building it with Hive Trending. I didn't know that that's who he's tag teaming this with. So Hive Trending is doing the dev work on this. That's awesome. Yeah, so I had no idea that users are actually going to be able to feed the bot links. So I guess in the Sooniverse, or maybe already, I don't know, you'll be able to actually just take links to news articles and then tag, #finance, and then the finance AI threads bot will read that article, create a quick cliff notes, and then post the cliff notes plus link on threads. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah,
I like all those topics that are already created. And that's the thing too, like, I mean, yeah, you can niche down, go like specific, like having like a Tesla one or something, but
yeah,
I kind of like that, just hitting the generalized topics, and they could basically be like, a stock market one, which obviously will touch on Tesla as well, along with all the other news. But yeah, that's a good group already. I mean, finance and business, I'm sure that's going to hit on a lot of stock stuff. Crypto, finance, business, world. I mean, you're covering most everything. Pretty cool feature.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Alpha Leo just keeps getting better. So, with all that good Leofinance stuff said, I hear that there's a wonderful Cub announcement coming tomorrow. And something with a word that has airy at the end.
Yeah, so tomorrow we will release the next Cub report, which will officially announce that Cub has gone deflationary in the month of March. So more Cub burned than released through LP incentives, which is pretty crazy. So every month, about 840,000 Cub is mined through liquidity incentives. So that's one Cub per block on BSC. They're about 25,000 something blocks per day. So it comes out to about 840,000 a month. And in the month of March, I'm still pulling all the data, but about 800, like I think it was like 860,000 or so Cub was burned. So officially deflationary, officially more Cub burned than created. I don't expect the price to just increase. So I know a lot of people think, oh, deflationary price is going to go up immediately and we're going to go to the moon. I don't expect that to happen. I actually expect pretty much very little to no price action on Cub. And what I expect and also hope to happen is that we actually stay kind of like at these depressed price levels, because that just allows the DAO to use all the income from BHBD and Beehive to buy up more and more Cub and burn it. So one of the issues with Cub, and this is the issue with all the DeFi platforms that launched at the same time, which we've talked about this, but like 95% of those platforms no longer even exist because for a lot of different reasons, but one of the driving reasons is inflationary rewards. So the way that these DeFi platforms work is that you attract TVL, total value locked, by having inflationary rewards. And that the problem with that is that inflation over time, if you have too much of it, will just cause the price of the token that you're inflating and using for the rewards to depreciate. So we basically have been working on this since Cub launched, but looking for a sustainable revenue model that could buy and burn more Cub than is distributed to LPs. So it took a really long time, obviously. There's hundreds of DeFi platforms out there that are trying to solve this, and there's only a handful that have actually created a platform where there's sustainable income being generated from LPs. There's literally, like, you could probably count them on one or two hands. So Cub launching BHBD and Beehive was like a pivotal moment for us. And I'll post a screenshot of the burn chart. But if you look at the burn chart, literally when BHBD and Beehive were launched, I'll circle it. There was 500,000 Cub total that had been burned since the start of the platform. And now we are at 3 million, over 3 million Cub burned. So literally 2.5 million Cub got burned since, and that was in August 2022. So just since August, over 2.5 million Cub burned, and the amount of Cub burned every month has just been steadily increasing every single month. And that's just because of, you know, the ARB bot and the wrapping revenue and the staking revenue all kind of growing. The ARB bot is really, you know, the key driver in all of this, and that's going to be a huge discussion point in the report. I know a lot of people are really curious about that. So that's going to be a huge discussion in that report. But essentially, all of this stuff coming together is what's creating this deflationary status for Cub. And the important part of this is that we've spent the last, you know, since Cub was launched, which actually, you know, Cub's second birthday was in March. So Cub is over 2 years old. And for the past 2 years, there's been 840,000 Cub created every single month. And up until August, there was basically only a few thousand Cub that was burned every month. And now we're at over 800,000 Cub being burned every month. I suspect that we'll be at over 1 million Cub being burned if the price stays at this level for a while. Within the next maybe 2 months, we'll probably see it over 1 million Cub getting burned every month. And still the 840,000 being distributed to LPs. So like I said, I'm not expecting like the price to just moon overnight. I'm not expecting us to just go back to $13, which is where Cub was at the peak.
When moon.
Although we would all love to see Cub at $13 again.
When cat rich.
Yeah, when rich. When Leo Island.
When Lambo.
So yeah, so we would all love to see that, but I don't expect that to happen. I expect us to kind of stay kind of where we're at. But this deflationary status is important. We need to eat away. You know, I hope the price stays down, because we can basically take the next, you know, 12 months. And, you know, if this Cub revenue keeps growing the way it has been, we can burn away all that inflation that was created over the past 2 years. So I'm excited to see that. There's about 21 million Cub right now. Ironically, very similar to Bitcoin, Bitcoin's max supply. And you'll see that with the burns happening kind of like on a every few days kind of basis from the smart contract, you'll see it go from like 21 million to like 21,400,000. And then suddenly the next day it'll drop below 21 million once a bunch of burns go through from the smart contract. So you're kind of seeing that cool back and forth. And if you watch that total supply of Cub, it'll just, you know, kind of stay the same and then hopefully start actually decreasing and kind of as that Cub gets eaten away. And if you check the threads, I just posted that burn chart, but you'll see the burns just constantly going up and to the right. So that's what you love to see. I think it's going to have a really important impact on Cub long term. But like I said, I'm not expecting a whole lot. I'm not expecting a whole lot of action in terms of price from this. Like, this is just, you know, the protocol earning revenue into a smart contract, using that smart contract to buy Cub and then burn it. So we'll see the impact of that long term, but I'm very excited about what that means for Cub and also for growing liquidity. So we've also had like kind of this whole liquidity crisis with, you know, kind of coinciding with, you know, all this stuff happening in the TradFi world, but you know, a lot of liquidity kind of being shuffled around, and that can definitely cause some pain points for various things. But I'm excited to see Cub go deflationary and kind of start to see that kind of slow grind back upwards. That's definitely where I'm looking for things to go. I'm not looking for you know, pump and dump of Cub.
The crypto way.
Crypto way. Kind of on the same topic, Morty asked, what's up with Polycub? Wasn't there another vote coming up? Yeah, so we conducted, I think it was PIP 3, which is Polycub Improvement Proposal 3. We came up with this idea to make Polycub structured similar to Cub and have like a consistent inflationary schedule, but then also work on growing the PHBD Hive liquidity, and then obviously building up that ARB bot so that Polycub could work in a very similar way that Cub is working, which is using all that revenue to buy back and burn Polycub. And we're working on, the devs are still working on the proposal for, I think it's PIP 4, it's either 4 or 5, but the number doesn't really matter. But the next PIP, which will propose that it'll basically propose the same thing. But I think in the last Polycub improvement proposal, people said that it was just kind of like out of nowhere and the vote happened too quickly. And, you know, it ended up being that the DAO voted not to push the proposal through. After a few more months have gone by and hopefully with a little bit more information, I think the next PIP will go through. But ultimately, it's all up to Polycub holders, right? If Polycub holders vote to push the proposal through, then the proposal gets pushed through.
Speaking of proposals, when those like big ones like that come out, I mean, like DAO votes, how are we getting the word out? Is like a post at least like being dropped in the announcements on Discord so people get notified? Because
yeah, so I think that was
I missed
one
that.
of the, yeah, I think that was one of the things about the last PIP is that we made a post about it, but didn't really, I think there was like maybe a week or two that we took off from the AMA, and then you know, just kind of like it felt like it kind of skated under the radar, and I don't think it got much attention. So then people didn't really hear about it. So this time around, we're going to do at least one post, if not multiple posts. We'll do an announcement on Discord. We'll do an announcement on the AMA, post the clip from the AMA, put it on Twitter multiple times. Maybe once a day, we'll post a tweet saying, hey, have you voted on the PIP yet? And then obviously we got threads too to post, which we didn't have last time around. So hopefully we will do a great job spreading the word this time. I think that was one of the main issues, was just that it kind of went under the radar. And people only kind of heard about it within the last few days of voting.
Yeah.
Which didn't leave a lot of room for discussion.
Indeed. Yeah, because I mean, there's bound to be questions.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is good, because that's what the comments can be used for on the post or on the threads.
Yep.
Nice.
Polls, and we can do all sorts of cool stuff there. Similar thread to pull on, pun intended, is Taskmaster asked, need to start the buying of Leo and distributing it to LP holders. That will start to excite users, especially if we are adding more each month to Leo threads. Yeah, so we got some big announcements in terms of the Leo ads protocol and what that's going to do in terms of buying Leo and doing the Leo Power APR like we've talked about. If you want to learn more about that, there was a post that came out from the @Leofinance account, I think like 12 or 14 months ago or so, which talked about the new smart contract that we were building. So that smart contract is ready, but we are still working on some of the other stuff related to the Leo ads protocol. But when we release all that stuff, which will hopefully coincide with the production UI being released on May 1st, that will start what Taskmaster is talking about. Kind of similar to that, which is also in Eric's notes for the show today, is the new Leo tokenomics. So nothing's really changing in terms of Leo tokenomics, but this has been like a big discussion point in the community. But the Leo.bounties account is going to turn is ending the inflationary rewards for @Leo.voter delegations. So the delegations aren't ending, the delegation payouts aren't ending. You're still going to earn 16% APY, but we've done a lot of different math and scoping out and trying to build a sustainable model for that. And there would be a more lengthy announcement later, but that is coming soon, where the bounties will stop because the bounties fund is actually essentially almost over. So when we flip that switch, there's about the amount of Leo per day will go from about 20,000 per day to about 5,000 per day. So we will see basically, you know, cut into a quarter the daily inflation. And the way that's going to work is that you know, @Leo.voter and then also the oracles. So @Leo.voter will be buying back about $8,000 a month worth of Leo, and that covers like 85% of the Leo.voter delegations. So the vast majority of the delegation payouts will actually start coming from Hive power rewards from the curation. So that's where the vast majority comes from. And then the other 15%, like that boost that we need to get to the 16% APY, that's going to come from the Oracle rewards on like the wrapped Leo accounts. So I'm excited to see that roll out. I think it's going to, you know, I think one of the big reasons that Leo hasn't been doing as well as we all want it to be doing in this crypto market. I mean, first of all, we got hit with the bear market. So that took us from $1 down to, you know, 4 cents pretty quickly. But we also have gotten hit with this rampant inflation, which actually is kind of this very negative. It wasn't bad until the Leo price started going down. So it kind of created this, what word am I looking for? Kind of like this snowball effect, but not in a good way. So a snowball effect in terms of the Leo price started going down, which increased the amount of Leo that needed to be paid out to create that 16% APY for delegators. So I have this chart, which we'll post in the long form post about all this stuff, but the amount of Leo being paid out to delegators has just been rising every single day over the past about 12 months. So we've needed a way to fix that. And this big change to Leo.voter and the way that all this stuff is going to work is, you know, it definitely changes things for the better. So I'm excited. Nice. I'm excited to roll that out. I think it's going to have a really positive impact on Leo long term. And then we're going to kind of coincide that with the new Leo ads protocol, which will also be buying Leo every month. So we're looking at well over, you know, 12 to 15,000 plus dollars being flooded into buying Leo every single month with both the Leo.voter and then the Leo ads protocols going live. Which is a lot. That's a lot of inflow for Leo at the current market cap.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's just like the machine keeps building, so to speak, and for more and more growth in terms of buyback of Leo.
Yep.
I mean,
that is the vision.
Give him a cub. Buyback and burns. Let it burn. It's going to turn into an Usher song. Public service announcement. The throwback Leofinance, traditional Leofinance site is acting up because of a lightning issue that's being worked on. This cat decided to try and post from the old UI instead of alpha. And I don't know if it's going to post. I've gotten a spinning circle for a solid like 3 minutes now after I hit post.
I would copy the content and just be ready to post it from alpha.
Yeah, and we might end up with a double post because I think I'm gonna go do that from alpha.
If you copy it, paste it into alpha, and then make sure you check peak D in between to make sure that it hasn't posted yet, and then close the old UI, then just publish it from alpha. You shouldn't double post. Should be good.
Sweet.
But yeah, we didn't really talk about that, but the old UI is having a lightning issue. Obviously, the new UI runs off of a new instance of all this stuff. There's a lot of really big upgrades that the alpha UI has that the old UI doesn't, which is one of the many reasons why we decided to build a whole new UI in the first place. But yeah, we are actively working on that to get the old UI fixed. But like I said, in less than a month, old UI will be no more. So I'm excited for that too.
Well, the post has already hit because I see it on hive.blog.
There you go.
So I shall not repost on alpha, and it will hit when it hits.
There you go.
I just don't have a link to drop in chat. That is a Leofinance link. I only have a Hive link. I don't know how I would attain the Leo link. Let's see. Let me go to my profile on Leo and see if something happened. Oh, it doesn't matter because it's not going to show. Oh, well, it'll show when it shows. I'm going to do the sacrilege and dump a hive.blog link into the AMA chat.
So so I got some miscellaneous quick things to talk about from Nomad Souls.
Cool. Yeah, let's hit that as the closing statements.
Yeah, some quick ones. And we didn't even hit on any of the market stuff, but we'll have to talk about the market next week. because we're running out of time, but we had the first Hive Author of the Week competition last week, which is organized by Nomad Soul, sponsored by Leofinance, Block Trades, They Call Me Dan, OCDB. And so 17 different communities participated. Lots of rewards, you know, hundreds of dollars in post rewards given out and upvotes. So be on the lookout for I think it's every Friday. I know Nomad Soul will drop something in chat if I'm wrong, but every Friday they do the voting for that. So be on the lookout for that. It's all done through the big thing for us is that it's all done through polls. So it brings a lot of Hive users over to Leofinance, the alpha.leofinance.io site to vote on all the different polls and get people going. I think the Hive Cuba, a Nomad Soul would know for sure, but I think the Hive Cuba community had the most number of votes on their poll to choose their author of the week. It was last time I checked it was something over 60 votes. So that was really cool to see. And what else we got? Crew 3 rebranded to Zeely, but the campaign's still ongoing. So they basically just Crew 3 changed their name as a platform, but that doesn't really affect us. So, and then there was this whole, so Splinterlands, I don't know if you saw this, Mitch, but Splinterlands had this exploit on their gaming, which token was it? It was like their sports game betting token or something.
Splinterlands that happened?
Yeah. GLS community and the GLX token, I think.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's most community. So, yeah, so someone took the money and run.
Yeah, I guess there was about 250,000 in damages after it was all said and done, after the exploit. So
no bueno.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about exploits, like they definitely suck. They cause a lot of problems. We had it happen on Wrapped Leo way back in the day. You know, Ethereum had the whole DAO event. Bitcoin's had, you know, its share of issues, including like Mt. Gox and other things. The thing about exploits is that, you know, either the project dies or it comes back way stronger than before. And, you know, this being a Splinterlands project, from my understanding, you know, Splinterlands is not going anywhere. And, you know, $250,000 is a lot of money, but, you know, in the relative scheme of how big Splinterlands is, I don't think it's going to have much of a long-term impact. If anything, I think it'll just strengthen everything that is Splinterlands related.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's bad for that specific project for the near term. Maybe it's an opportunity to buy in low.
Yep. Very true. Very true. So I'll keep an eye on that. I don't really, admittedly, I don't know a whole lot about the GLX token and what that is, but
I don't either. I was going to look to get
involved in
gaming league thing. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, sports related, and obviously I'm a big sports guy, so I think there's opportunity, and I planned on kind of doing some research and getting involved, but then the ship kind of sailed. Maybe there's a second opportunity, and I never really got involved. So then I ended up jumping into getting some exposure to Woo recently, just to get that, because that looks like another DApp related to quote unquote a sport, wrestling, that could potentially, you know, do well. So yeah, it might be an opportunity to take a look back at the project, because the exploit could lead to an opportunity to get in cheap.
Very true. Very true.
I'm gonna put that on my list of things to do over the next 48 hours.
It's a long list. Long list.
The list is always long, but luckily Bitcoin is just going sideways for the last like week to 2 weeks. So be interesting to see if we come and test that like 31, 32 prior support, or if it ends up pulling back and testing the 25 level.
Yep.
In the meantime,
definitely going to be an interesting couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah, we're just hanging in the middle. So
yeah. So so before we jump off, just a public service announcement to leave everybody with. So this Friday, we're going to be having a big team meeting, talking about ideas about the Leoverse, taking in feedback, thinking about what we should do next. And, you know, if there's any complaints, you know, I've always been a big advocate for like negative feedback and constructive feedback, not negative, but you know what I mean? Constructive feedback. I've been a big advocate for that throughout this whole Leoverse project. And, you know, so if you have any feedback, if you have anything that bothers you, or maybe positive things to say even, or just really any feedback, write a post, tag it with Leoverse. And during our team meeting, we're going to be taking all the feedback into account and kind of talking about some ideas for what comes next, Leoverse related. You know, we've expanded the team a lot, we've expanded the community a lot, and we kind of need to keep recalibrating and making sure that we're on a good path forward. And I'm always keeping my ears to the ground for what you guys are talking about in threads and other places to make sure that, you know, things are headed in the direction that we all want it to.
Yes, I put that actually in the recap post, but I did not put how to go about doing it. So yeah,
I created that up.
I
made that up while I was talking.
Leoverse. All right, so what's the tag? I'm gonna add.
So just tag it Leoverse.
Leoverse.
We are about to hit 100 threads on the threadcast. So if you haven't created a thread in there, go ahead and do it.
Leoverse.
We might have honestly broken the threadcast. I'm seeing the last one from 30 minutes ago.
Which is awesome, because I mean, we started a little earlier, which we usually get less people when we start earlier. And then, you know, sometimes we go for 2 hours on these things. So we got a little over an hour, pretty solid. Awesome updates per the usual. Recap post is out, and the Leofinance old link UI lightning issues in the process of getting fixed, and everything is good to go.
Sweet. Sounds good.
And we will see everyone next Tuesday on the 11th.
11th of April.
Indeed.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good one.
Sweet.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you.